Business in general is very challenging from the employees, from putting a good team together. A lot of obstacles you have to jump every single day. Business advice is never get discouraged and never give up and just keep going. No matter how many times you have to try until you get it right. You know what? You just have to figure out what is it I'm doing wrong and just discover that and then push forward and try to correct that.
Welcome to Vegas Circle with Paki and Chris, the show for people who are passionate about business, success, and culture, showcasing the stories of people in the city that made it happen. On today's podcast, we are going to discuss building a successful luxury cannabis brand with the owner of VVGLAB and also LP Exotics. We have Miss Marianna, and say it one more time? Arakelyan. So welcome to the circle.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here, and thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, so we got to first start off with a little bit of your background. So originally from Armenia, like we had talked about, you've been involved in a bunch of different businesses from medical industry to multiple different hats, basically.
Correct.
And now you've jumped into this space of being in the cannabis brand. Talk a little bit about kind of just your background in business.
So I've done a little bit of everything, but I work hard, play hard, and I was in the medical field, managing all our dental offices. We have 18 of them back in California. And then I basically do medical billing for the dental offices and doctors.
Okay.
And of course, I love fashion. So I got into a little bit of that. But I've done a little bit of everything. And every time I have an obstacle, somehow I do it better than last time. So then I got into the cannabis now.
And is that kind of playing off that medical background? Is that where you've seen your niche to kind of break into the industry? Because it seems a little bit different than being in the medical and the fashion to kind of jump into the cannabis
so
industry.
I never really knew about, this whole industry. I thought it's basically something people do for fun to get high. A friend introduced it to me and I did some research and study on it. And I was like, oh my God, this actually helps people and it has a lot of benefits medically. So I got really interested and I reached out and I told her, if you know anyone that's selling, I want to get in. And that's how I kind of got into the business. Yeah. And as I learned and saw the benefit that it does to people, I got more interested day by day and my love grew for it and my passion grew for it. And now I'm like all in it. Yeah. So, because originally my passion and love is helping people and changing lives. And that's the number one reason I'm in this business right now, because it gives me the opportunity to help people medically, and it gives me an opportunity to basically show people, consumers, that I care, because everyone is special and unique in their own ways. And I want to make sure I take care of, the bud tenders and everyone else involved in the business and give people the opportunity to have a job and grow in a business, because in our California businesses, how we structured it, it's basically like all family orientated. There's people been working with us from day one that we opened, and they're still with us, and we are like family. So I want to create that same structure in cannabis here in Vegas.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it seems like a very business that's hard to break into, right? I think there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of barriers for entry. And when you're trying to jumping into it, I'm sure you had to learn through a lot of those different processes.
Correct.
What
I
are
love challenge.
Yeah, because you have to. It seems to be like to be able to go in that
I
industry.
love challenge, and if someone tells me something's impossible to do or hard to accomplish, I'm like, oh yeah, this is my thing. Another new challenge for me to overcome, because in life I like to give myself challenges to overcome, and then when I reach them, I reward myself with another new Lambo.
There you go.
So.
Talk a little bit about, you guys just did a huge event for the launch in Las Vegas, right? You did it with Snoop, and it was actually at Planet 13.
Yeah.
How were you able to establish this whole, party and Planet 13? And
pretty challenging, I gotta tell you.
And you did it yourself, right? You put it all together.
I did everything, and I was actually very honored that they gave me the opportunity and worked with me and believed in me. And I made it happen. And it was challenging. It was a lot of obstacles to hop through, but I love it. And we made it happen. And it was a very, very big success. And
Yeah.
it was amazing.
And how did you establish those relationships? I think, like, to Paki's point, it seems like, Planet 13 is obviously pretty well known. They're big in here in Las Vegas. And for them to, believe in you and what you're trying to do here, how did you go about like establishing that relationship with them?
Honestly, I'm always just myself. So like I'm very transparent. I tell you what I want and what I can deliver, and people just trust me, and I don't let them down ever. So I work very hard building my name and maintaining my reputation. So if I say something, you bet your ass I'm going to do it,
Yeah.
no matter how challenging it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So, and they believed in me, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
How did you come up with the name LP Exotics? Is that
So I am the Lamborghini ambassador for many years, and I have the passion and love for Lamborghini for many, many years.
okay?
So I am Lamborghini Princess, and I have my own exotics. So
Got it.
when I
Okay.
came to the industry, I took over VVG, which they had the Vegas M stick.
Okay.
But if I was going to be involved and I was going to stand behind the company and the brand, I wanted to make it all about me and have passion and love for it. And I want people to experience the luxury and the lifestyle that I have and give everyone an opportunity. So I named it, and it was born from my heart. And it represents me and my personality. So it's Lamborghini Princess LP.
Okay.
Exotics is my exotics because I own 14 Lamborghinis as of
Oh,
today.
wow. Okay. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Is that what you were doing for your event? When I saw all the
Correct.
Lamborghinis, those were
So
all
that's
yours.
my
I didn't know that.
signature.
Oh,
So
wow.
that would be
Okay.
my signature for
Okay.
my LP Exotics brand,
That's
my
awesome.
cars.
Yeah, that's it. It's unreal what you guys have been able to do, man. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a great way to be able to brand, especially in Las Vegas. So, what do you see as far as business compared to like California? Because I know you've got businesses in California. What made you want to come to this market to be able to do that versus a California market? What did you see here?
Initially, I basically had was introduced, like I said, through a friend, and she was in Vegas.
Okay.
So I initially started it because she was going to operate it and run it for me, and that's why I opened it in Vegas.
Yeah.
Then she had different opportunities. She had to move on, so I had to step in and take over.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into Las Vegas market. But I actually love it.
Yeah.
It's something new and it's challenging for me, which I love. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm excited.
How long did the process take just to get like approved to actually get, from the time you came up with this business idea to actually getting approved and actually be inside Planet 13? Like, how long did that actually take?
Well, I literally have been on this project for about 5 months now.
5 months. Okay.
So for a year, I think for a year and a half, it was run by my friend, and the whole process of everything getting approved. We had to change location, so it was a little challenging. But now I've been on it for about 5 months because I just had a newborn baby.
Oh, congratulations.
So
congratulations.
thank you. Yeah. And after my child was born, I got right back to it.
Yeah.
So
That's great. Being a cannabis company, right? Being in the industry, what do you feel like is the biggest misconception from your perspective? What do you think that misconception is?
I think people look at it as like, it's a drug that people are using to get high, and it's something bad. Like I thought of it that way before I got into it. But as people do research, and if you consume, you actually see the benefit, and all the stories I've heard of how good it's done to people, it's just mind blowing. I wish I knew it before, because I lost my grandma due to cancer,
Oh,
and
sorry to hear that.
I studied, and I was like, I wish I knew this before, and maybe I could have helped her to save her life. But
Yeah.
it's not so it's not what people think it is. And if people do research, they'll see like it's actually super beneficial.
Got
Yeah,
it.
I think you're kind of starting to see that a lot more as it's becoming more legalized and people are
Yeah.
using it and touting the health benefits and being
Mhm.
real vocal about usage. You're seeing a lot more people like the old misconceptions are going away. I think people are starting to
Correct.
realize that, which is, I think, good for all of us, good for the economy. I think good for, business owners like yourself that they're
Yeah.
really starting to take advantage of that. It's
Mm-hmm.
a really nice perspective to see. And I think, one thing that I like about what you're doing, what you're saying is that it's an elevated product too. So I think what another misconception on that point is that weed's always been something you would buy from somebody down the street or a
Correct.
friend, and
Yeah.
now it's bring it to an elevated market or an elevated product, and bringing luxury around that seems to be much needed. And I think a lot more people are really focusing on that too. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the process now with it not being federally legalized, right? So how does that work? With everything is cash based. Like
Yeah,
how does this process work? Walk us through that a little bit.
it's a little challenging,
Mhm.
because it's not federally legal, so
Yeah.
you don't get those loans and
Mhm.
you don't get, all the banking uh leverages that you can have, but some banks are, allowing you to work with them even though you're cannabis.
Sure.
But if you need like a loan for a big project, then
Mhm.
either you have to have the cash capital or I don't know, it gets challenging, or you got
Yeah.
to get partners involved. I'm lucky to be able to manage it by myself and have the capital to do so. So I don't have any partners, and I
Yeah.
kind of want to keep it that way
Yeah.
because it could get, challenging with a lot of
For
people
sure.
involved.
Yeah. Did you think you had to take any business classes to actually learn this business side, or you just kind of learned from kind of your past experiences?
Brother, I've
Yeah.
had so
Yeah.
many obstacles and challenges.
Yeah.
I'm pretty street smart.
Yeah.
I grew up in the streets and I have nothing handed to me. So I learned everything the hard way.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty business minded from the streets.
That's good. Yeah.
I didn't have to take courses for it,
Yeah.
luckily. I did go to school, but not for business.
Yeah.
So, nothing is too big if you just put your mind to it.
Yeah.
The Vegas Circle podcast is brought to you by RAC Financial. They help new and established businesses with simple, secure, and reliable payment processing. RAC's credit card merchant processing services are unmatched. Visit racfinancial.com today and mention Vegas Circle podcast.
When we first talked on the phone, that was one of the things you were saying. Is
Yeah.
you like, I want to get the point across for women to be able to see, look, I'm from here and I've been able to establish, X, Y, and Z. So it's like the world is your oyster type of thing,
Correct.
which is
Yeah,
pretty.
sky's the limit if you
Yeah.
just believe.
Yeah.
So a little bit about, background now that you say that.
Yeah.
Like I'm Armenian, like
Mhm.
you said, and Armenian women and, generally Middle Eastern women are taken care of by their husbands or a man provider or whatever. And um, I grew up, my father saying, women are just for having babies and cleaning the house and cooking. And I was kind of the black sheep in the house. I was like, no, I'm going to be, I want to be someone. I have dreams. I want to make a difference. I want to put a footprint into this world and I want to make a difference in people's lives.
Mhm.
So I was like, no, I want to become someone. And was never given anything from my dad, my brother, or my husband. I could proudly say everything I own is me and it's all because of my hard work.
Mhm.
And if I can do it, I want to tell every woman and children out there that if you just put your mind to it, your heart and soul into something and
Mhm.
believe in yourself and never give up on your dreams, no matter how hard the obstacle seems,
Mhm.
no matter how challenging it seems, no matter how people are against it and say, no, you can't do this. If you
Mhm.
just believe in God and believe in yourself and give it your all, I'm a vivid example. You can do it.
Yeah.
It is
Oh, that's
hundreds of
awesome.
boil,
Yeah.
like 100% you can do it.
Yeah.
You should never give up on your dreams. And that's what message I want to put out there. And I want everyone to know they're special and unique in their own way. And, there's tough times. You just kind of brush it off and do better next time and just learn from it. But you
Yeah.
shouldn't just give up.
Oh,
So people are trying to jump into those things, to your point, and it is a learning curve, right? You're going to get thrown these obstacles. You're going to start learning these issues that get thrown in your way. What type of resources do you like go to when you hit those roadblocks? Is it just like reading at a library, going on the internet, reaching out to a mentor, or is it, just grinding
No,
until you
I
figure it
just
out?
grind until I figure it out.
Gotcha.
Like, um, I don't know, like I grew up tough. My dad would say, "Don't read a book," and we would get a beating for it. And I would say, "Huh, that just made me stronger. I don't care."
Mm.
So I don't feel pain. I just go, you know?
Mm.
It's amazing when we talk, like Chris and I talked a lot about like elite athletes, like all the adversity of dealing with all of that makes you work harder and almost like you streamline, like you put the
Yeah.
blinders on and you just focus
Yeah,
and get it done.
I
It's
don't
amazing.
cry
Yeah.
about anything. I
Yeah.
don't say, "Oh, I wish I could change this or that in my life."
Mhm.
Everything that has happened from the abusive household I was growing up in from my dad, and me and my brother have paid the price heavily, but I would still not change anything because I am who I am today because of all those hardships.
Yeah.
So,
It's a strong statement, Marianna. That's a
yeah.
very strong statement for people to be able to
I
hear.
go
But
around
yeah,
school and I talk to kids. I tell them like, they should just stand up for what they believe and keep pushing forward.
no, that's
And
good.
I got into this business. Everyone thought I'm going to fail.
Yeah.
I can't do this because I don't know.
Seems
But
like it's a
guess
flooded
what?
market. Yeah, like it's a
Yeah.
flooded market. Yeah.
The more people say no, you can't do it, because my
Yeah.
family was like, just close the doors. You don't need that. Just, forget about it.
Sure.
And why are you doing this? I was like, no, because it's not, I didn't try. So if I try and something doesn't work, I
Mhm.
know is my failure.
Got it.
So I have to give it my all. And if it works, great. Then it was in God's blessings. If
Yeah.
it doesn't, then I know I tried.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
So,
you got to have the blank canvas and do
Yeah.
it. So that makes
correct.
sense. Backing up a little bit, how does the cannabis, so like for example, Planet 13, right? So you have LP Exotics, you got all of these different brands, right? Brands of cannabis. How do you market your brand so that, whoever it is wants to go and say, hey, look, I want LP Exotics. Do you guys advertise? Do you guys,
We do
you know,
advertise,
okay.
on social media, on billboards, on
Okay.
radio, and,
Just in this market itself in Las Vegas or
correct,
around? Okay.
in Vegas.
Okay.
But, you know, why is LP Exotics different than
Okay.
other brands? There's many brands out there, and LP Exotics is different because LP Exotic, I want everyone to know LP Exotics cares about the consumers
Okay.
and about the people that are buying it or selling it. Whoever is involved with LP Exotics from my team that works for me, and consumers, or the people that are helping me support the brand, I care about every single individual. And for that reason, I want to be more powerful and blessed from the company
Mhm.
so I could just give back. And I will do that on 420 in
Yeah.
new dispensary for,
Yeah, talk about that a little
yeah.
bit. You talked about, I have one more question on it, but talk a little bit about, since you mentioned the 420 with the Lamborghini giveaway. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I've been blessed in my life, like I've said many times, from God, and it's time that I want to bless and change someone else's life. So every morning I wake up and I'm like, please bring someone to my life that I could change and influence and impact. So Ethan reached out to me and said, instead of an artist, can we do like a Lambo giveaway? I was like, wow, that's a brilliant idea. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
So
That catches a lot of people's attention.
Yeah.
But we were talking offline, we're trying to
yeah,
figure out
I
how do we,
mean,
yeah.
I've been blessed and
Yeah.
God's been good to me. So I want to take the opportunity on 420 to give a Lamborghini Evo Spider 2023 from Lamborghini Princess
That's awesome.
as a
Yep.
gift to them. And insurance is on me, so they don't have to
Yeah.
pay insurance
That
or
is
worry
awesome.
about that.
Yeah.
And if they have a need for parking, I'll even structure that for them. So I want to make sure it's a real gift, and they can enjoy the car and feel special and know that, someone cares about them.
How do they, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Go
How
ahead.
do how do you participate in it? Like, how do you sign up for the giveaway? You have to buy tickets
So
to the event, or how does that
So
work?
Nuwu is carrying LP Exotics and VVG brand, which
Okay.
both are mine. And if you make a purchase of VVG and LP Exotics, you get a raffle ticket.
Okay.
And then on 421, 7 p.m., I will, take out 3 raffle tickets for 3 different spots of winning. But
Okay.
first place will be a Lamborghini giveaway.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool. Our listeners better listen up to that. That's,
I'm
Yeah.
that's
definitely
pretty cool.
buying. So.
Yeah, that's an awesome opportunity, man, to be able to do that and also show your brand. That's great marketing.
No,
to be
I
able
want to
do that.
show that, the brand cares about consumers and whoever is buying.
Yeah.
That's very
awesome.
rare. Like
Yeah.
you said, it's usually more about the splash of the show of everything, but
Yeah.
that's really that's a huge giveaway. That's
Yeah, no, I want to make, I could have gone and bought like a used car,
Yeah,
like
sure,
a older model or whatever. I want to show that if I'm standing behind something, that it's going to be special, and I'm going to make sure I change your life
that's a
and make
life
it
changing
better.
gift.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
that's my goal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. You're definitely a woman of your words, man, like we talked about
Yeah.
a while back. So
In
that's
this
pretty
world, you
sharp.
don't take nothing with you.
Yeah.
You leave, you take your name and your reputation, and what you leave behind is how people are going to think of you and remember
I
you.
agree.
And I
Yeah.
definitely want to make a difference and leave a big, handprint in this world before I leave.
Starts with 420 with this next
Yeah.
one coming up. Talking a little bit about, I know I'm kind of backtracking. How does the cannabis business work as far as like, when you're in the retail business, let's say whatever storefront, Walmart, whatever it is, you're paying for real estate. So if you've got a vendor, that amount of product or SKU has to go through for you to be able to stay in a primary place or be able to stay in the business or stay in that particular location. How does it work with, like, say for Planet 13? If you've got LP Exotics, are you competing with other, cannabis distributors there and being able to show, hey, I'm the best, so I get the best, piece of real estate there, or you have to do a certain amount of inventory for you to be able to stay in the location? Like, how does all those logistics work?
So they have partnerships, you have to basically, pay to be in the partnership.
Okay. Yep.
But, you have to just keep your name alive. And
Okay.
what I do is I make sure I'm consistently doing pop-ups and events, smaller events, not big scale, but like I would do one as an anniversary every February 4th for Planet 13, if of course they agree,
Yeah.
which we've already talked about.
Yeah.
But consistently, I want to make sure I take care of the bud tenders. I do the pop-ups. I do smaller events here and there, just to keep the brand alive. And I do, I'm a part of the partnership premier package. So
Okay. Yeah. So that's how it works. Yeah, I was so curious how, because there's so much, it seems like it's a flooded market. So it's trying to figure out, how do you keep your name alive and
just
keep it
have to
going?
consistently do like, um, events or pop-ups or something for people to know you
To
care
know
for
that
them,
brand.
and to be different, from everyone else, because
Yeah.
there's just a lot of brands out there.
Yeah.
And there's the goals like
And-
to expand all the other dispensaries in Vegas, or kind of keep it more centralized.
Just goes throughout all the other dispensaries,
Yeah. What's with us being a business show, what's a piece of business advice you could leave, our listeners with? What would you tell them? You've done a lot with the Lamborghini giveaway,
Yeah.
but what would you tell them? Maybe it's, it's a woman that might be trying to figure that out, or just somebody that's trying to get into small business. What would you say to them?
Business in general is very challenging, from the employees, from putting a good team together, from, a lot of obstacles you have to jump every single day. Business advice is never get discouraged and never give up and just keep going, no matter how many times you have to try until you get it right. I mean, for our businesses we have that's successful, even in California, or even the one here that I'm doing right now, it wasn't perfect from the get-go.
Yeah, it never is.
There
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a lot of challenges, and there was days where I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy. But you know what? You just have to figure out, what is it I'm doing wrong, and just discover that and then push forward and try to correct that.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great advice. Just transitioning a little bit, just ask about Vegas. We always ask our guests, what's your favorite restaurant in Vegas?
Oh, I eat the same place all the time. I
Okay.
think they already know me by the name.
Okay, yeah.
John George and Aria
John
Steakhouse.
George's is good.
Oh man,
yeah.
I go there so much they probably
Yeah.
think I already live there.
It's funny. I got a shout out. I know my wife's gonna be saying it in the quarter. That's actually where we did our wedding dinner,
Yeah.
reception. So Yeah,
Their
John George's is
food
great.
is
Oh,
really
Yeah.
good.
And the
Check that.
dessert is off the chain there too. So they got good steak.
Yeah, I'm
and
very,
dessert.
consistent and persistent. So like I don't like change. So if I
Yeah.
know something is working, I just keep on going
That's
there.
good. Nobody said John George's before, so that's a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
I've
great
never been there
steakhouse.
either. Another
Yeah,
one,
it's
talking about
Aria.
a place I've never been.
It's very good.
Well,
very good
I'd
place.
love to treat you
Oh,
guys.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah.
I heard it's
very
really good from
Yeah,
this guy. He told me from his
food.
wedding.
Okay.
Great
Yeah.
food. What else are you concentrating on? I know you're so busy for 2023. What's another focus for you maybe next year?
I'm actually trying to do apparel for LP Exotics.
Okay.
So I'll have apparel for women and men. And yeah, I want to make it look cool and
Awesome. Yeah.
fun and casual, but you could dress it up too. So
There you go. Yeah. I thought you were gonna say like coming out my own Lamborghini brand with LP Exotics
yeah.
that you working
Well,
out.
my
So,
goal is to
yeah.
make enough money here so I could go around the world and adopt more children and families because
That
that's
is
my hobby.
powerful. That is
So
powerful. Yeah.
I do that now, but I want to just give myself an ability to do more.
Awesome. Well, we supporting you, man. It's
Yeah,
an
that's
absolute pleasure to
fantastic.
be able
Thank
to
you.
sit down with you and just kind of pick your brain a little bit. But definitely check out LP Exotics. And can you share some of your social handles and where people can reach out to you at?
LP.exotics is the Instagram and LPexotics.com is the website.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, check out, support us. You're doing some amazing things, man. And then 420, check out that Lamborghini giveaway. So that's
Yeah,
good stuff. Yeah.
that's going to be big for sure.
Yeah. So subscribe with us and check us out at thevegascircle.com.